Ms. King. Mr. Asher.
Chairman Van Drew, Ranking Member Ross, and other members of the House. I'm honored for the opportunity to talk with you today about our nation's crime trends and how we can potentially drive them lower. My name is Jeff Asher, and I'm a crime data expert. I've worked as an analyst over the last 18 years for the Department of Defense, Central Intelligence Agency, New Orleans Police Department, and Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office. In my role as the co-founder of AH Datalytics, I've created a project called the Real-Time Crime Index, or RTCI, which gathers crime data from more than 500 agencies nationwide to estimate national crime trends as they occur. I'm here today to discuss the data, which shows a sharp decline in murder and violent crime in America over the last few years. Acknowledging this fact does not deny the seriousness of these problems, nor does it imply that they are solved. Even the lowest U.S. murder rate ever recorded means there were still 14,000 or so tragedies like the awful murders that brought you all to North Carolina today. Here is what the data unequivocally tells us about our nation's crime trends. Murder in the United States fell at the fastest rate ever recorded by the FBI in both 2023 and 2024 on the heels of, by far, the largest one-year increase ever recorded in 2020. For 2025, the RTCI sample of 562 agencies covering 116 million people shows murder is down 20% nationally through July, setting up the third straight year with a record decline. Many cities are seeing historic lows in terms of murder this year. Baltimore and Detroit had the fewest murders through August since 1965, Philadelphia since 1966, and New Orleans, my hometown, since 1970, despite the horrific terrorist attack on January 1st there. Chicago and New York City had the fewest shooting victims through August this year that either city has recorded in the few decades they have been tracking shootings. Los Angeles had the fewest murders through June since 1966, and San Francisco had the fewest murders through August since at least before 1960. The FBI has been estimating national crime rates since 1960, and tallying it all up with this year's decline points to the strong likelihood that the FBI will report the lowest murder rate it has ever recorded in the United States this year. That works out to roughly 8,000 fewer people murdered nationally this year than in both 2020 and 2021. And it is not just murder that is falling. Overall, reported violent and property crime are both down double-digit percentage points in the RTCI. The United States' reported violent crime rate in 2025 will likely be the lowest reported by the FBI since 1968, and the nation's reported property crime rate will likely be the lowest on record. Violent crime in general, and murder specifically, rose in North Carolina in 2020, like in much of the nation, peaked in 2021, and have been declining ever since. North Carolina was one of 44 states in 2024 to report a drop in murder relative to 2023, according to the FBI. Charlotte's trends are closely conforming to both national and statewide trends, having seen murder increase from roughly 68 per year on average between 2015 and 2018 to 117 in 2020. Murders down 8% statewide per the RTCI and down 25% in Charlotte this year, as the city has had the fewest murders year to date since 2018. Violent crime in North Carolina is down 15% statewide and down 21% in Charlotte through July per the RTCI. Despite falling in the last few years, statewide violent crime and murder remain elevated relative to the mid-2010 lows in North Carolina, though well below where they stood in the mid-1990s. Ultimately, the data is very clear about the direction of crime in the United States right now. But explaining why crime is falling is both quite challenging and essential to ensuring future reductions. Any explanation must account for at least 6 factors, in my opinion. 1, the declines are occurring nearly everywhere in the United States, with drops in every category of crime, all 7 categories that the FBI measures, in all 11 population groups that they measure in 2024. 2, the declines began in 2023 and have accelerated in the last 2 years, suggesting the main causes, or at least the initial causes, are rooted in investments begun in the 2021 and 2022 timeframe. 3, most medium and large cities have fewer police officers today than they had when murder began spiking. 4, we have not fixed the supposed root causes of crime, such as poverty and lack of educational opportunities. 5, the nation has more guns in circulation now than ever before. And 6, clearance rates for most crimes remain low by historical standards. Acknowledging what is borne out in the data, a drop in murder and other reported crime, presents a golden opportunity to better understand why this is happening. The critical task now, in my opinion, is to understand what is driving our crime trends down so that policymakers at the local, state, and national levels can have the tools to better bring about falling crime everywhere. Thank you. And Mr. Chairman, I apologize, but I'm going to have to leave at noon to catch a flight back home.
Understood. Thank you for being here. We are now